The charm and beauty of Filipino ladies. I'm not sure if I've written something as specific as this before. Maybe Filipino charms and Filipino beauty is pretty obvious to Down Under Visa and FilipinaWives blog readers, but I feel like writing about it, so I will. Because if it wasn't for the charm and beauty of Filipino ladies, well, none of us would have anything very specific to talk about now, would we? Lovely ladies there. Beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder, of course. Now, I've always liked petite women, always preferred brunettes to blondes. I have early memories of being a 6 or 7 year old and finding a little girl at school of Asian background to be particularly pretty. So yes, I made it particularly logical that one day I would stop dating Aussie women and that I would turn my attention to the Philippines, as I did. It's odd that I didn't do so earlier, really. But, better late than never. I've lived full-time in the Philippines for the last 7 years, and to me it's far more normal to see Filipinas than it is to see Caucasians, and I'm not complaining in any way. Filipino charm and personal qualities. And whilst beauty is in the eye of the beholder, the number one factor in why I think we decent Aussie gentlemen find ourselves attracted to Filipino girls is their charm. Their sweetness, their gentleness, their kindness, their generosity and compassion, their easygoing nature, their old-fashioned and stable attitudes towards marriage, families and children, and that propensity to smile just because. Now, to me, these are definitely the factors that push our lovely Filipino wives and sweethearts well and truly over the line and make them completely irresistible. I can remember talking to Aussie friends after my first 2 relationships with Filipino ladies fell down many years ago, and discussing how I would try again. Aussie woman looks at me as though I just said the dumbest thing she'd ever heard and asked me why I hadn't learnt my lesson yet. Why on earth would I try again, and why don't I just look for a nice local lady? Now, I asked her a straight question, and to her credit she answered honestly. I said, okay, you tell me if you know of any local women who you could introduce me to who would be prepared to get to know me with a view to marriage for life and would make a great wife and mother to my 2 sons. So, wife to me, mother to my 2 sons. She knew a lot of people, but yet after thinking for a bit, she shook her head. Plenty of lovely ladies around in Australia, but most of them are married and will stay married. Of the ones that are left, it's not so easy to find someone who has the family values, traditional view on marriage and easygoing, kind, caring nature to match what the average family-oriented Aussie man is looking for. Yet in the Philippines, it's not so unusual. Yes, I recently had a bit of a rip into the effect of modern Western-style values on the younger Filipino population, and I stand by this, but it's still not so hard to find a sweet, kind and caring lady here who can make you very happy. Now, I tend to think in a more positive tone that many of these millennials will soon tire of the experimentation into Western-style morality where when they do finally meet a decent man who wants to marry them. That's what I hope anyway. Filipino kindness. Now, I couldn't write this without praising my own lovely wife, Mila. Couldn't possibly hope for anyone to take care of me better than she does. She's the most selfless and generous person I've ever known. And like that line in the movie, Jack Nicholson it was, she made me want to be a better person. Now, in fact, I know I'm a kinder and more generous person than I was before I met her, simply by being with her every day. And because she's very obviously taken, I will tell you that she's not the only kind-hearted and generous woman here in the Philippines. Empathy for others and the willingness to share what they have and to give of themselves, this is normal here in the Philippines. Kindness is shown to friends, family, total strangers, and very much to husbands of Filipino ladies. Now, my challenge is to try and keep up with how much she does for me. I try, but I really don't. I haven't got a hope, because I don't believe I have the same capacity for kindness. Although I must say, simple gestures, kind words, sharing time, a few romantic gestures, they seem to go a long way. Filipina smiles. And smiles, my goodness. How wonderful it is to be greeted by ladies who smile for absolutely no reason at all. To have a house full of laughter where ladies don't spend too much time dwelling on those real or imaginary things that could otherwise get them down, because there's always something better to think about and plenty of reasons to be grateful for a good life. Hard to frown when she's too busy counting her blessings. And being greeted by a smiling face from someone who's genuinely happy just because you're there, well, that's something pretty special. So yes, I must admit, my beauty detector finds these ladies utterly gorgeous physically. Big brown eyes like chocolates, shiny black hair, cute little noses, coffee-coloured skin, utterly delicious. But whilst it's very pleasant, it's the beautiful hearts that those ladies possess that it really is their true essence. It's that goodness and that the love and the smile stem from. So I'm happy. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, just a little thing I thought I might let you know, just on the topic of beauty. I saw something. Apparently Osama bin Laden used to, remember how he had this very black beard? Apparently he used to dye his beard. I don't. This is absolutely genuine. So nothing fake from down under visa. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it and you would like to subscribe, you can click on the little button down the bottom corner there, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are regular articles on aspects of Australian visas to the Philippines on www.downundervisa.com.au. There's a blog page you can subscribe to. There is a free visa assessment form, and there are regular articles on aspects of Australian Filipino relationships, which you can see on www.FilipinaWives.com.au. If you can please share these articles and these videos on any of the social media that you use, we would appreciate that. Thank you.